Hey, and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the FansToys 6-Team-M Sovereign, aka movie, or 86 movie, Galvatron. So this is the blue Galvatron instead of the purple. Originally, I was hoping to get the purple because I was a bit more of a fan, but honestly, this guy stands out a lot more in the blue. But let me get one quick size comparison out of the way. Here he is with MP36 Megatron. And as you can see, I pretty much have them posed pretty identical for the most part. So there we go. So he does come with a number of accessories. He comes with blast effect parts, which honestly all this is better off in cannon mode. This comes apart, this part, this part, this part, this part. You will need this piece at least to work on the cannon, but unfortunately the joint isn't strong enough and this will just fall down. He also comes with an alternative cannon, which is see-through, more to the G1 toy. He does come with an alternative face. So you basically pop that out, pop that in. I think a lot of the times Galvatron looks a lot more menacing when he's not gritting and bearing. And he does come with a flight stand. Now, I'm not going to attach Galvatron to this. Basically, one of these goes into the back here and one into his crutch. But honestly, I don't feel these are strong enough, and that joint is definitely not strong enough. It does come in two parts, so there we go, but I don't use that. It stays in the box. Now I'm pretty sure I had a card with this guy, but I have no idea where it's gone, and I think it's probably in the same place as the instructions. The box is behind me and it's not in there. So let's get down to some articulation. I'm going to detach his cannon because honestly this will fall off as I'm doing this. So, head can do a full 360, can look up that far, and I'm detaching parts of his back, can look down that far, can't do side to side, arms can do a full 360, can come up this far. He has multiple joints here, here, and here, which are all more to do with transformation, so you got all craziness when it comes to elbow to bicep. You have double jointed elbow, which honestly that looks really weird. He does have an inwards bend, which is more for transformation. He has articulated fingers. There's a pin here, here, and here. There's a ball joint in here and a pin here. The actual last joint does not have one. He of course has wrist rotation and up there as well. He has waist swivel, no ab crunch. You can further in, lift up this skirt and this skirt, so his leg can go out that far. It can go forward that far, and I suppose you could get further if you get the thigh piece out of the way. Can go back that far. He has hip rotation at around here. He has a tight double jointed knee. Probably get a little bit further, but I'm pushing it. And things want to untransform. He has ankle tilt. He also has toe tilt. Ankle can go down that far, along with toe, which is more for transformation. So if this guy is having trouble standing up, it is usually his toes that are doing it to him. So it's just a matter of standing him upright and making sure these are down, which, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, I have a slight paint chip there. Alright, let's try to get this guy into his cannon mode the best we can. Alright, so what we're going to do is flip this down. We're going to rotate the wrist and rotate, where is it? We want to rotate the bicep as well. So this will come out here. And then we're going to rotate the whole thing and bring it here. So you basically want this piece on the front here. Hopefully the thumb is just sort of tucked, the fingers tucked in here, thumb like that. You're going to flip this, we'll tap the elbow in first. This is going to go in here, and if everything lines up, this tab, oops, I'm going to need that at the front after all. This tab's going to go in here, and the hand's just going to fit in best it can. Flip that in. You might as well lift it up a little bit to get underneath there. Won't always sit perfect, but it will work most of the case. 1 second. Alright, there we are for arms. So we'll continue on with the upper body and work our way down. So what we're going to do is come underneath here, pull this out, just to clear that out of the way. This can be scary, but you want to push the arm down. You may have to hold his shoulder. Come on. There we go. Which will free that. And this piece is going to go into here. So once it comes down, the shot will come with it. And I can just tab it into the side. We'll flip down the chest piece just to give that out of the way. Give me 1 second. So I've got the other arm down just out of the way. Save us a little bit of step. Alright, so this will be plugged into here. On the back of one of these, we're just going to flip these out of the way for the time being. We're going to flip all this down, untab the back there for the moment. And then what we're going to do is we want to flip down this piece. We want to try, and it can be a little difficult to get this piece out. So that reveals the cannon, or the cannon tip. We're going to flip that around and flip that around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the head in, just sort of push that up and try to get everything all nice and clear so that the head goes all the way inside, like so. And then what we can do is flip this back up. If everything lines up properly, that goes back in there and that flaps up, and voila. Now we'll leave this for the time being, and all this is going to work out eventually as well. It just gets all a bit sort of in the way. There we go. Alright, so then what we're going to do is we're going to pop the waist like that. So this will come up. And then what we're going to do is, we're going to rotate. I'm trying to think if it's this piece. Yep, because we need that at the back. So this is going to rotate under. So just the chest piece is going to rotate. You're going to leave the legs where they are. I don't think, no, the legs have got to be rotated as well. Yep. So we're going to have to rotate the waist anyway. So you can probably just rotate the top piece there. Alright, so what that's going to do then is if we split the legs, we have this tab here again. This is going to come down and this is going to lock in here. So that keeps the top of the body in place. So just push that in, and then we can double hinge the chest piece. That's going to come up, whoops, which didn't hinge, and that tabs on the bottom there to secure that. And we are slowly getting somewhere. So we just fold these down for the moment. Right. So we are getting there. All right. Now we're up to the legs. So this will all make sense later. We're just going to flatten that out for the time being. And what we're going to do is we'll do it on this side. So you're going to slightly unlatch all that. You're going to open up here, which reveals all this, and you want to sort of fold it out a bit more, and that's probably why I've scratched that. But bring the foot down first, rotate it, flip it up, like so. Then we're going to rotate this around. We're going to flip open this, slide it down. That's going to come back over in a second. We're going to try to give as much room as possible. This is going to be tight, so just try your best. But you want to get this tab into here, and it's just a matter of very tightly getting that double hinge to move. And honestly, I've tried doing this by loosening it, and all it did was make it harder for him to stand up. There we go. So in as far as it'll go. Ouch. Like so. So that gets that into sort of in place there. That way we can straighten the leg out. Get that out of the way. Rotate this around. So that's going to go over top. I think I've slid it up again. There we go. That's going to go over top. That's going to stay where it is. That will stay where it is. That'll come back down again. And pretty much that's how that's going to be. I think I've got it just a little bit raised a little bit. This we'll deal with in a minute, but that's basically what you want the leg to look like. And you can just fold this in, sort of stick it in there, but we'll get to that in a second. So give me 1 second, I'll do the other leg and be right back. Okay, so I've got the legs somewhat how I want them. All right, so what we're then going to do is we need to get all this flattened against the crutch. And we're going to bring that down, and then we can tab all this together. So we got to make sure that stays below. And we also want to get that piece just into the crotch there. Don't worry about these tabs and stuff. That's unnecessary. All right, then what we can do is just fold that in there, fold that in, put that in there. We can then fold this piece up, and that just sort of sits there. I thought I'd fold it more up, in, and that goes in there. All right, so I think his actual upper body untabbed. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip this up on both sides, and this will be basically the tabbing mechanism for the front. So what you want to do is get these tabs underneath here. And my chest piece has untabbed itself. Come on, get up there. So just get that over. Try to get them in. That's 1. That's 2. And even if the upper body wants to untab itself, once those are in place, they ain't going nowhere. All right, then what you want to do is get these tabs into the side here. And you can use this to pop it up later. So when you want to go back into robot mode. Like so. Those just go in there. These just sort of sit wherever. There's no real specific spot. And we're almost done. Now, it is a suggestion, just let these sit on top to make it easier to get back out again. We can rotate this around, and that should have tabbed also into the back there. So we're almost at full cannon mode. We can take his cannon, pull that out, flip that out, rotate that in, plug it in, slot, slot, plug in. And there is Sovereign in his cannon mode. He is beautiful, I will say the least. As for his accessories, that is the only time you're going to get, realistically, the completely Starscream annihilating piece to work. So, there we go. And of course, final size comparison. Here he is, next to Windblade. So as you can see, he is pretty dang big. I'm not transforming Megatron, so there we go. So he is a lovely figure, but I will be enjoying transforming him back again and keeping him in robot mode on my shelf. So this has been my 40K view sort of milestone video. So I hope you liked this video. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. Let me know if you prefer this guy in blue or if you prefer this guy in purple. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.